A year ago, the British people voted on this referendum on the EU.
I wasn't surprised because I had talked with a lot of people who had been brainwashed by the tabloids.
I just could not believe what was happening. You know, when I say your worst nightmares come true, you keep waiting to wake up from it.
It's the lens through which I look at everything now in Britain that comes my way.
And the best and brightest are leaving in droves. People are starting to realize Britain is no longer that wonderful place that was so open and where you could build your life and feel at home.
You know, the uncertainty that we have about our future is based on the fact that we haven't got a legal status to base our future on.
The process of applying for permanent residence is unheard of in the rest of the EU. We did a quick scoping exercise which showed that the UK was totally unique in the amount of information it requires, in the demands that it makes, in the length and complexity of the process.
It is this hostile environment from the government that for me started at the Tory party conference when there was talk of lists of foreigners and we will tolerate you until we've grown our own talent. The British abroad have some very serious concerns about pensions and other issues, but I don't think they've met with such hostile reception by their respective governments.
And it's nearly 2 million people who are potentially in that bracket of people who either can't get PR or probably wouldn't get it. A lot of these people have been in the UK for a long time. They're settled. They bought the whole package that a lot of people do. You know, they get the job, the career, they get married, they buy the house, their mortgage, their kids, the lot, which is what, you know, a lot of ordinary life is made of.
That there's been this environment that was created to make us all feel in limbo and to make those of us leave who can't bear it.
The problem is that with the vote has changed everything. A lot of people currently do not meet the permanent residence entitlement criteria, which means that basically it raises the question of what happens then? If you can't obtain that card, then what happens to you? Will they be allowed to stay? Will they not be allowed to stay? Does that mean that some families are going to be broken up because one partner is allowed to stay but the other one isn't?
You know, there's, you know, when people say, oh, you know, this is over, you know, you're over exaggerating, they should be listening to people whose life have been thrown in complete disarray, mothers of, you know, disabled children, people who have situation of great fragility, and they are the ones, I suspect, you know, if things are not changed, they're going to pay the highest price.
The British state is trying to destroy my marriage, and they have done it already to thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of non-EU British families. Because we were protected by the EU, we were fine. We were at home here, but you know, after Brexit, we could be treated exactly the same as the non-EU citizens. They are called Skype families. Very few people know it. They are people who live separate lives, children who never see one of their parents apart from on Skype. That is absolutely immoral.
What strikes me here is that if the Home Office had been willing to make us feel welcome, you know, make sure that the rules would change, we would be in a different situation now.
Totally. Absolutely. But otherwise, we've been really ignored. I don't know if you feel that. Yeah. We've been so ignored because we can't vote in the general elections. It's as if we don't count.
Or worse than that, we've been treated like a commodity.
Oh, you know, completely.
I have in various official documents seen the word stock, high volume and low volume labour. I am absolutely horrified by this. They've lumped everything together, refugees, benefits. We have been mutually claimed too many benefits or taken too many jobs, but it's on a purely economic level that this debate is being conducted.
This rhetoric between active and inactive citizens, productive and non-productive citizens, isn't just linked to Brexit and EU citizens and migrants and migration. It's there. It's that underlying text all the time. We don't know. Is this the beginning of the end of the nightmare, or is anything worse still to come?